Okay, it's part 2 now. And what I thought I would do, what I actually woke up thinking about last night, believe it or not, was the fact that you must gesso the pages, okay? Because if I remember rightly, watercolour paper is very porous, okay? And when you apply acrylic paint to it, it just absorbs loads of it. So if you gesso first, which is, you know, quite cheap to do, then you don't get such a problem. Plus, it's a good sealer and a good protector for the page. So, and all I do, I mean, I've done some already, as you can see, but all I do is do the back and front of each page, which really should have been done before I sorted the papers out, but I didn't. So just this is all I do. So I try and get it as random as possible. Okay, because I quite like the fact that if there's different sort of textures going on, I've got a catalyst here as well that I quite like, so I can take some of it off and then reapply it so I get little areas of things going on. And that is all I do, okay? And I'll do these two, and then I've got the front covers to do as well, so there's enough on there. See, this one is just so absorbent. That would have took so much acrylic paint to cover it, so this way it does help. It's like going back to school when I do this. I love it. Well, I don't love school. I hated school. Wasn't allowed freedom of speech I believed in, and that didn't never go down very well, so never mind. All history now. Okay, that's all I do. And then you can see how absorbent that one is. That watercolour, textured watercolour paper. Okay, and that's all I do. All right, so I'll just put those to dry. I've got to do the backs yet, but I'll put those to dry and then we'll do the covers. And with this sort of thing, I think it's better to do the front and the back almost straight away. So if you can dry it with a hairdryer or something, I think it's better. It doesn't warp so much. You can do this with a credit card. If you haven't got one of those, I shall do the other bit. I'm going to dry that first bit off, and then I'll do the other side. Oh, actually, while that's drying, do that one. And I'll do this one with a credit card. I don't like getting messy. It's not really for you unless you're a very neat worker. I'm not, so I'm just gonna let's do things like that. There we go. Okay, and dry that off and do the other side. Okay, I've got a couple of pages dry that I can start to work on. Okay, and what I do next is I put a cross where I know something's going to go. So I was going to put that way, but I quite like it. I quite like that now. But that could change when I've done the background. Right, so I've actually put a cross on the pages that I know I don't have to do any paint in the middle, because that's going to go there. Okay, and it's the same as that one. All right, so what I suggest you do, you know, if they were all dry, do that right the way through, okay, and place your pages. Hope it's making sense for you. And then just put a cross on where you know you don't have to paint in the middle, okay, because I'm going to go and start painting on the first page here. Actually, yeah, that's right. Actually, it's the wrong way round. I quite like it that way. So that's that's not going to go there. I'm going to paint that one and not that one. Okay, so that's the wrong way round. That's better. Okay, because I've got a bit showing here. All right. There we go. Right, so what I'm going to do is paint this one first with the colours. All right, and then I will do the next two when they're dry. All right, these are going to, because you've got to do one side and then you've got to let them all dry. You've got to do all one side and then you've got to let them all dry and then you do the backs. All right, or else it's just too wet. Okay, so we'll get on with that one, which is here. Okay, and then we get to mix some paints up and have a play. Any old brush is okay, and I've got a palette here. It's quite a large one, so it's going to have to sit on the side. And I've got my retarder, what I'm doing. I'm definitely going to add some of this transparent to each of the colours at the moment, because I want them even more transparent, except for the white, of course. We need a bit of black. Yep, I'll keep that one with that. Right, okay, brushes. Any old brush really. I'm going to use this quite big one here. Oh, it's a bit stiff, mind. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's right. That's fine. Just going to mix some paint up. Because it is, you know, you build this up over a few days. It's not done, you know, in one go really, because you let them dry, let the layers dry, and then you go back in. Yeah. Let's get me water. Trying to just slightly blend those in. Okay. And they join together. Right, okay, that is like the first layer, okay, and that's basically what you do to all the pages, totally random, and then you'll go back over them. I mean, like here, because it's transparent, you can still see that, but we will cover that later, you know, and we'll be adding black to it, we'll be adding all sorts, okay, but that is literally, out of the colours that I picked, that is basically all I do, honestly. All right, and then it's just a matter of going in there and picking more colours. Not more colours, but layering more colours on top. So I'm going to leave that one to dry. and I shall do a next one wherever I put that. There's one of the ones where we don't have to do the middle. Okay, so just start again. Let's clean my brush a bit. Actually, I'll go and get my water. I've got a better one, a bigger one. I'm going to say, if you haven't got any retarder, just dilute with a bit of water, just so it's not quite so thick. All right, but some of mine are very thin anyway. So, but I do like with the retarder for actually, you know, being at the ease of use. All right, it's sort of like you're able to sort of glide it over the page a bit better. All right, let's try another different combo. Bit black on that one, just a little bit. I do want a bit of orange. I haven't got any orange. Definitely, that's right, that's what I used for my orange, didn't I? What was that? Red oxide. Sort of orangey, so I'll have a bit more of that. Yeah. See that paint, you can see how cheap that one is because it hardly covers at all, but for anything like this it's okay. Just need a little bit of black down here as well. Darker, you see. Oh, it looks so yuck, doesn't it, when you first start doing it? Isn't that nice? So I shouldn't have done the middle of there, but I get carried away. I have so much fun doing this. Right, put that green over the top, I think. I'll try the other one, leaving the middle now. Okay, that's it. Again, you know, that's the difference, using different colours. Okay, but this is where, you know, plain is good. Okay, I've got a cross on that one, so I know that I don't have to do the middle. All right, so need a bit more retarder with that because it's drying out a little bit. A little bit of black in this one. And I'm going to drag into that black. Alright, just drag it out a bit. Like that. I think my son is messaging me. I haven't seen it yet, but I think he is, because I think he wants pancakes. It's Saturday and he loves pancakes on Saturday. Right. Oh, I didn't have to do that did I? Bet. I have so much fun, I usually end up doing every page. And right the way through. Okay, that's that one done. I mean, again, you know, it's quite dark, but that's okay. It all sort of seems to blend in together once it's dry. It's weird how it works. It's nice to sand it as well and bring it back a bit and put a bit of white gesso on sometimes, you know. These are the covers, so I'm going to do them while I'm here because they're not too bad. They're not completely dry, but they'll be okay for doing this. So I'm going to do them together, I think. Just watered that one. It's just a bit dry, so just trying to make it easier to apply a bit of paint there. You know, I'm not saying this is actually the right way of doing things. This is just my way, you know, and there's loads of tutorials out there, so please, you know, go and have a look, because it's just that I have fun when I do things, okay? And I think there's no right way, there's no wrong way. You do it to please you, okay? If it goes wrong, you cover it up, or, you know, it doesn't matter. So, you know, that's the one side of the cover done. But again, only the first layer. You know, I do go back in there and I add different colours after. I might even add a bit of yellow and a bit of orange, brighter orange. Who knows? But that's one side of the cover done. Well, not done. First layer. Okay. Right, I'm going to do these little pieces now. Well, there's a few things drying. So I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. Okay, because, you know, again, it's autumn and there is yellow. There is red as well. But I'm going to just add a bit of that because I don't want these too dark. Okay. So I'm just going to add some yellow to these. And some green. Just watered that little bit down a bit, just because I want to blend into that, like so. Don't want much water though, because the pages will warp. Even though it's watercolour, it still warps. Okay, maybe a touch of that up there. Okay. All right, so it's on the lighter side, those ones. All right. I think that's nice. It's worked. Let's put a tiny bit of water on that. Bit of green. just think autumn. Just dull that a little bit down there. That's a little bit bright when that come in, that green then. So there we go. And another 2 done. Right, what I'm going to do now is an idea. Well, because you sort of lose yourself, don't you, when you've got paintbrush and paint. I think I'm going to stick the material ones down first, okay, and then paint after. All right, I'm going to have, because I want to do that with gesso first, the material, because it does need a coat of gesso. All right, so I'm going to do that next on a couple of the pages, and we can see how that works. Again, I'm experimenting as much as anybody else. I love to experiment, so you have to bear with me while I'm doing things like that, because sometimes I will dart around because I get another idea. Okay, that's why I don't sort of tend to do a lot of these videos, because I am very sort of you know, I do dart around all the time. So just bear with me and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, for sticking down the material, I use Fabri-Tac or any fabric glue or anything that you're used to using, okay? And then because these 2 pages are facing, you know, the ones that we wanted together, I'm going to stick the paper down as well. And I use matte medium for that, okay? Some prick sticks are okay, all right? But I quite like working on the top of matte medium because I've done it before, I know it, and that's why I'm using it. If you want to experiment with a little bit of, you know, a prick stick and then working on top of a little piece to see how it goes, then do so. But I'm used to this, all right? So I'll stick this one down first. And then I'll do the fabric one. So this is how I paper. And go over the top as well, don't worry about that. All protects it. Right, we've got a roller, roll it. But if you haven't, then just try and get all the bubbles out if you can. That's how I stick all the paper ones down, all right? All right, let's get the fabric down. Quite like any side of that. God, they're both nice. Well, it's really hard to gesso over fabric, mind. I will say it's not easy at all. Put quite a bit in that bit so I can flatten it out. Should have ironed it really. My hands. Oh dear, not for the faint-hearted. Okay, here is the next 2. Again, this is paper, so I thought I'd give it a go this way rather than paint it all first and then put them on. Just see what happens. do you know, I really can't remember how I done it. It's sad, isn't it? Only 12 months ago, but I was just playing around really, and I'll leave that go. And then any bits lifting up, I'll Fabri-Tac that bit. Okay. That is not the right way round. Oh, that'd be all right, actually, like so. Yeah, that'd be fine, because that's going to go on there. Silly me. Oops. Never mind. Stick it in the paint. I mean, you could do this with napkins too, as well. Have you got any nice napkins? You know, certainly a lot of things you could be doing this with. Right, so that's those two done. All right. On with the next two. There, that's those two done. Going there, yep. Put some material on that bit there. Let's do that bit there. And that. Okay. A little bit out of frame there. There we go, need to come up a bit. There we go. Hold on a minute, I'm going to straighten this up. Okay. This is Fabri-Tac. Okay. Right, well, a lot of them are dry, so I thought I'd reorganise, okay, and see what there is left to paint. All right, I thought that would look nice. That's the actual front cover, okay, and I thought that would look nice on there. Or I think maybe not. Yeah, like that. Turn it around. That's okay. So that's the front cover. You know, of course, there's going to be other things going on. So there's that one. Then I've chose, you know, like that there. So I've got to paint that. Stick this material down, which I'm going to do now. So I've sort of, they're all dry, ready to paint. Plain page there, and then we've got those that are dry. Another plain page there, and then some here. Okay, so that's how it's coming along. All right, might have changed from when I first done it. That happens. Okay, so I quite like the way it's feeling and going the way that is. So let's have a look what we've got here. I've got these. So I've done some more. I found that I thought I really wanted to use that because I love that piece of paper. That's out of one of my autumn kits, I think, that one. I've got this as a bit green, but because we've got green here, I thought the time we painted that will look okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is stick down the bits first. I think actually it's most probably better to do that first. All right. So I shall do that. And then they can dry, and then the ones that are dry, I will finish painting. So let's get these sticks stuck down. This one. Right, they're all but dry. Not 100%, but again, it's changed, I think. I forget where I put it, but I'm quite happy with the layout now. That's looking quite good around there. So it's a matter of going over. I know I've already painted this, where I need to gesso some of this here, so it will take paint again. All right, so I'm going to paint over that. So I'll show you what I do in that area. Right, which I need the gesso, of course. Yeah, it's hard to get things dry all in one go, if you know what I mean. So again, cut it quite a driest brush, and I'm going to sort of go over a bit of that in areas. So you can get it to blend in. Like that. Okay, right. Here we're all right. We use paint on that bit. Don't need to gesso that so much. Okay, and that one's okay. That's all right. I'm just going to gesso this edge here because I've tore that down a little bit. Okay. Right, that's fine. You've got to be careful it doesn't stick to the page. You need to gesso this material, okay? It's really quite hard, but it's all right. We get there in the end. Need a bit more gesso. I don't like, I actually use a very cheap gesso. This is £5 for this tub, and then I've got one, like a litre one, that cost me 10, which is quite good. I don't buy expensive gesso. I don't like the ones that are gritty, because I noticed some clear ones are very gritty. I wasn't keen on those at all. I didn't like the feel of them, but again, you might like that, so. I haven't heard the seagulls today. I didn't know whether they've been chittering around, but that's funny, I don't hear them at all. Hear people though. So I do live right in the middle of the town, and I live literally 50 yards. I live 50 yards from the harbour. I live about 5 yards from a pub, back of a pub. So that's why you can hear lots of goings on. I think you can hear the fan too. That usually stops around 2:15. Okay. Okay, that's that done. So that's gonna need to be dried. And I need to do that one as well, actually. That's a pain. Never mind, I'll dry that first. It doesn't take long to dry. Okay, and that's colour on those. Don't need any gesso on that, only the material. So go to that page here. Okay, that's the material done. That's fine. Loads of nice texture there. And I'm sure if you haven't got any textured material or wallpaper or anything like that, I haven't actually used any wallpaper in this one. You could, again, use your embossing machine and emboss some card. You know, that's as good as anything. I have got a cutting machine. I've got loads of embossing folders. And I should have used a bit, really, if I thought about it. But, you know, it's the way it goes. So, no more material. So, we'll leave them dry. And then I will be back